Bum 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 bum. The Peter Dislike Show. Bum 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 bum. Please continue to pray for me by singing along, gesturing at your screen, and leaving a dislike on this video. I've noticed a huge correlation between how many dislikes I get and whether or not my prayers get answered. Maybe in another video I'll show the connection between the two, but in the meantime, please smash the dislike button. Let's do it again. Bum 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 bum. The Peter Dislike Show. Bum 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 bum. I'd like to ask the god of dislikes to entrust me with a ton of gold. And here's why. And to understand why, you gotta understand what I would do if I suddenly found a ton of gold. The answer is not very much, but at the same time a lot. What do I mean by that? I'm not going to very much change the path that I would go down. I would keep my career paths, I would keep all of my connections, right? And I would more or less have the same ambitions after I find the ton of gold as I did the moment before I found it. Now, what might be different is that it would activate my life. I don't know if that's the right word for the situation, but for example, I often struggle to find resources for all the things I want to do in my social life, right? Also, right now I teach at two different community colleges, and the commute is a little trickier than I would like, but I love all the students. Now, if I found a ton of gold, would I quit one of those jobs? Probably not, actually, but I might go replace my car. I'm driving a Kia Forte that has almost as many miles as the distance to the moon, and it wonks out at times. Things go wrong from time to time, and if I found a ton of gold, I could quickly erase that frustration out of my life, right? But at the same time, I would still continue both jobs, right? That's what I meant by not a lot, but a lot at the same time, right? Are there any friends I would say goodbye to? Not really. I've already gotten rid of a lot of all of the toxic relations in my life, for the most part. But it would change a lot of dynamics, right? I'd probably have more time to spend with them. Why? Because I would outsource a lot of things, right? I'd probably stop cooking my meals at home and outsource that. After all, I'm not an expert cook, right? I always wonder why we live in an economy where everybody cooks for themselves and cleans for themselves and all that. After all, economics is all about specialization, right? You don't operate on yourself when you get hurt, right? You don't. There are a lot of things you don't do for yourself, right? You don't build your own cars or build your own house, right? So why do you cook for yourself? It doesn't make a whole lot of sense, right? If you're a lawyer, most lawyers do not represent themselves, right? Especially when the stakes are high, right? So why do you cook for yourself, right? Why do you clean for yourself? It does not make a whole lot of sense, right? So um, right now as I speak, I got a long distance relationship going on very strong, actually, I would say. Earlier today, she shared with me a number of things that you normally don't just share with somebody you just started dating, right? And I'd love to be able to go see her more, right? If I found a ton of gold, I'd probably, within a few moments after I replace the car and after I hire somebody to clean for me, the next thing I'd probably do is to book a trip back to Taiwan, right? That would be on the top of my agenda, at least, right? And so you can see the direction of my life wouldn't change very much. It would kind of more or less activate the direction, is what I want to say, right? Leave a comment. If you found a ton of gold, how would your life be different and how would it be the same? For me, it would be more or less the same, but with activation is how I would like to put it. This is the Peter Dislike Show. Bum 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 bum. The Peter Dislike Show. Bum 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 bum.